How can effective edge test cases boost software reliability and performance? How to write edge test cases. Writing edge test cases involves identifying and testing the boundaries or extremes of the input domain. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to write edge test cases. Understand requirements. Have a clear understanding of the requirements and specifications for the software or system you are testing. Identify the input parameters and their valid ranges. Identify boundary values. Identify the boundaries or extreme values for each input parameter. This includes minimum and maximum values, as well as values just above and below these limits. Create test scenarios. Develop test scenarios based on the identified boundary values. Consider different combinations of input parameters to cover a variety of scenarios. Consider invalid inputs. Don't just focus on valid inputs, also consider invalid inputs that might be just outside the acceptable range. This helps ensure that the system handles errors gracefully. Prioritize test cases. Prioritize test cases based on their criticality and impact on the system. Start with the most critical scenarios that are likely to have a significant impact on system functionality. Document test cases. Clearly document each test case, including the input values, expected outcomes, and any specific conditions that need to be met. This documentation is crucial for reproducibility and tracking. Verify expected results. For each edge test case, define the expected results. This involves understanding how the system should behave at the boundaries and what outcomes are considered correct. Automate, if possible. If your testing process allows for it, consider automating the execution of edge test cases. Automation can help ensure consistency and efficiency in testing. Execute test cases. Execute the edge test cases systematically, observing how the system behaves at the boundaries. Document any unexpected behavior or errors encountered during testing. Iterate and update. If issues are discovered, iterate on the test cases, update the scenarios, and retest. Continuous refinement of edge test cases improves the overall test coverage. Collaborate with development team. Communicate with the development team to ensure they are aware of any issues found during edge testing. This collaboration helps in the prompt resolution of identified problems. Remember that the effectiveness of edge test cases depends on the thoroughness of your analysis of the system's requirements and potential boundary conditions. It's also important to approach edge testing with a mindset of uncovering hidden issues that may arise in extreme conditions. When to use edge test cases? Edge test cases are particularly useful in several scenarios during the software testing process. Here are some situations where employing edge test cases is beneficial. Boundary conditions. Use edge test cases when testing the boundaries of input parameters. This includes the minimum and maximum values allowed for various inputs, such as numbers, dates, or strings. Security testing. In security testing, use edge test cases to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the system. This might involve testing inputs that are designed to exploit potential security flaws. Compliance testing. When verifying compliance with standards or regulations, edge test cases can help ensure that the system adheres to specified limits and requirements. Error handling. Test edge cases to evaluate how well the software handles errors. This involves providing inputs that are just outside the valid range to ensure the system responds appropriately and gracefully to unexpected scenarios. Data validation. Use edge test cases for thorough data validation. Test scenarios with inputs that are at the edge of the acceptable range to ensure accurate and reliable data processing. Integration testing. When testing the integration of different system components, edge test cases can reveal how well the components handle extreme or boundary conditions when interacting with each other. Compatibility testing. In compatibility testing, consider edge test cases to assess how well the software performs on the boundaries of supported platforms, browsers, or devices. Regression testing. During regression testing, especially after code changes or updates, use edge test cases to ensure that the modifications have not introduced issues at the boundaries of the system. Extreme conditions. Apply edge test cases when you want to examine the behavior of the system under extreme conditions. For example, testing with the maximum number of concurrent users, the maximum file size, or the maximum load on a server. User experience, UX testing. Apply edge test cases to evaluate the user experience under different conditions, especially when the user is interacting with the system in ways that push the limits of its capabilities. Performance testing. In performance testing, edge test cases can be applied to stress the system by pushing it to its limits. This helps identify performance bottlenecks and assess how the system behaves under heavy loads. In summary, edge test cases are valuable in various testing scenarios, particularly when you want to ensure the robustness, reliability, and security of a software system under different conditions. Incorporating edge testing into your overall testing strategy enhances the thoroughness and effectiveness of the testing process. Show your support. If you like this video, please support my work by clicking the like button below and subscribing for more content. Engage and share your feedback. Share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments, and feel free to share this with your friends and office colleagues. Learn, grow, and collaborate together. Let's embark on this learning journey together. Grow our skills, collaborate, and share our knowledge. Grab a pencil or computer and happy writing. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.